Hi, guys, and welcome to the live show, which isn't on a Friday, so it's not the Friday Live thing. This is a very special live show. We've been getting in a load of questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit through and start answering these questions and giving tips and advice. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. We don't care what it is. Even if we don't know the answer, we'll bullshit it. No change there, then.
So I just to let you know, I've been evicted from my office. Evicted my office because Sam's working from home as well, obviously. Yeah. So I'm lounging on the sofa like a furloughed member of staff.
And everyone then heard still making sales.
Yeah.
That ka-ching noise is Tim's sales button. It's really annoying after a while.
No,
so as you can see, propping us up today, we've got Dave down below. A very trim Dave, by the way. We'll be discussing whether the new beard style suits him. I think it does. He looks 10 times younger than he was, or 10 years younger. Right, guys, so hang on. Before we get started, how's your week been? Dave?
Interesting.
I looked at him and said Dave then.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question.
That's a really. Do you know what? I'm finding it more and more difficult to answer questions like that. Yeah. Because it's kind of like, well, I've been working out the house like normal, and like, how can I answer when everybody else's life has been turned upside down?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We won't ask that question anymore then. Okay, what should we start with? Okay, so Dave, let's get you started with. We'll ignore that question. We're going to start Dave off with a question, and it literally came into the foundation about an hour, 2 hours ago, and it was, which WordPress plugin should I start with, or words to that effect? So I'll tell you what my answer was.
Yeah.
I went. You need a security product plugin, SEO plugin, a way to collect leads, and a way to do backups.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 plugins you need.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So
see you next week.
Hi, Donald.
So I would add one plugin to that. Yeah.
I'm going to add to it.
So, we're WordPress people, so what do you expect? Short Pixel.
Short Pixel, yeah.
Get yourself a Short Pixel account. I think for a bazillion credits, it costs about $10. I think I've only ever spent $10 in the last 12 months. And you get, I think it's like something ridiculous, like 10,000 credits, which basically what it does is it reduces the size of the images, the file size of your images, and makes them optimized so that they still look like decent quality images. I now actually use Short Pixel for everything. You can log into the Short Pixel website as well and compress images. So if I've got larger images that I want to email somebody, if I've taken something with my phone, I'll stick it through Short Pixel rather than having a 3 meg image file to send through email. So it's just, you maintain the quality of it. So Short Pixel is definitely a WordPress plugin that I'd get.
For security, I would say get WordFence.
I'm a fan of iTheme Security, but I have the Pro version, so it does pretty much the same thing. They're all pretty much the top ones. So that would be like you said, WordFence, iTheme Security, and Sucuri, SUCURI. Yeah. My favorite is just iTheme Security. Like I had an issue there a couple of years back with a client's website, and came over and we had it on a certain host, and they were hacked, and it was nothing major. It was a small thing, but the host went nuts and just like, you bloody sort this out. And we're like, well, how do we sort? What do you want us to do? And they said, well, pay this amount of money to Sucuri to go in and clean it all up. And it was like $400. It was like, so literally moved the whole site, cleaned it up, moved it off to another server, stuck on iTheme Security, and not one problem since, which is important because a lot of websites will actually, if they've had one attack, you're going to find there's a database somewhere with that URL that hackers and all these kind of people would share information. But since we added iTheme Security, now the Pro version, which only has like 3 or 4 different extra bits that really most of us don't need, there's just extra security, and then it's no problems ever since. Really, really good. But the other thing you said there that really goes hand in hand with the security plugin is your backup plugin that you mentioned earlier. Because if you do have a problem, you need that backup, and you need that backup from a little while back, so that your site was clean 3 weeks ago. So you can have that backup and reinstall the whole website. So you might lose a bit of content for the last week or 2 days or something. But you can't really have. Sorry.
Back it up to Amazon S3 or Google Drive or Dropbox. Do not back it up to your desktop computer.
Nope. And do not back it up to your server either. That should happen anyway from your server provider. But they're notorious. All hosting companies are pretty much notorious, except for the top end ones like Kinsta or WP Engine, for when you go to them and say, I want my backup from last week because I got a problem now. They go, oh, it didn't really work, But hey, it's a service we offer, but it's not in your contract. So look, tough. Good luck. You're left high and dry. So you've always got one on your server. You've always got one backed up on, and let's try and do it on more than one, which is Amazon S3 or your cloud, your Google Drive. And that way you've got redundancy, so that if one of them is corrupted, you've got another one somewhere. What I do, and you said don't automatically back it up to your PC. I always try and go into clients' websites and back up like once a month, maybe once every 2 months. So I've got a third level somewhere that I never need, but there's always, but just in case. So you can do that, but it's not something you want to be back. I back up all my maintenance clients' websites every Monday, and I go in and I do all the updates and all the stuff throughout the week. But I back it up every Monday. I go in on Monday and it's like put the kettle on, coffee. And Monday morning is client sites, back up. It happens automatically, but I go in and check them all.
So if you ever want to hack one of the sites that Dave looks after, do it on a Tuesday.
Well, I mean, like I said, we were talking specifically about a backup plugin. I use Updraft Plus.
Yeah.
And what that does is it allows me to tell the website to back up keep the last 5 weeks of backups or the last 10 weeks of backups. But it also has an extra option in the Pro version. It's called incremental backups. So what it can do is it can back up a big lot, and then it only backs up the things that have changed since it did that backup. So you're not wasting your server space. Now, all my clients' websites, my own websites, everything, and Amazon S3 cost me about $10 a month. Like it's that's volume. And before I started offering this sort of monthly service to my clients, I was paying 73 cents a month for a couple of websites I own and run. So it's very, very cheap to do that. So it's not like you're paying for a plugin and then you have to spend an awful lot of money on actual room on a server somewhere. Amazon S3 by far is the cheapest thing out there for just dumping everything onto it, but having quick access to get it back out when you need to.
I'll tell you a story about Amazon S3, a very, very quick one. About 2 months ago, I noticed we got a bill came through from Amazon S3 for £275, and I was like,
I thought my $1.53 a month, which I don't know what it is.
Well, that's it. And it's like, because normally it's about £2. And I was like, what the actual? And I went on, and sure enough, I found a file on there that my ex-business partner had uploaded, and he'd uploaded an MP4 video to my Amazon S3 account because he still had access to it, and he'd sent the link, and it's like this video was streaming 3.4 gig file. And it was for a product that he was selling, and he'd sold like hundreds and hundreds of copies of it, thousands of copies of this particular webinar. So I was like, Paul, what are you doing?
I'd love to have heard that conversation. Paul would have been, I don't know what you mean.
That was like, oh, I'm not sure what that could be, and I was like, I found the file. I found the file, and I was like, Paul, this is definitely you because it's got your name on it. So yeah, that is just a words of warning that sometimes if you do have too much, which is like, don't use S3 for everything, but it can be for backups. It's brilliant, like absolutely perfect.
Right. So, question from Donald: can apps be run on Amazon S3, and which package is needed to do that?
Yeah, it can be, but like Jesus, that's now we're into technology for that's like real
proper noisy ninja shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And
the answer
also,
is yes, you can.
what do you mean by an app? You're talking about a SaaS, or you're talking about like, Amazon S3 is just storage. I mean, that's all it is. It's really just a big storage thing, But what Amazon does is it makes access to that storage really fast and really simple and really cheap. So if you can run anything that needs storage. So in certain places, like let's say I've got a really large image, like it's megabytes, or an audio file, or like Tim said, a video file. I'm not going to put that on my website server, right? Because it will slow down my website drastically. But sometimes there's a file that I cannot minimize, like an image or a PDF or something. PDFs are a really good one to put on Amazon S3. So basically I want somebody to click a link and it download off my website, inverted commas, to their computer or whatever. But I don't want to host it on my site. So yeah, no, absolutely, you can. But this is how it works, is that I upload this product or video, image, anything, file, to a folder in my account. So I've got my account, and then I have folders, and in those folders, I can have more folders and whatever. And I load it up to Amazon S3, and then I say, I want to make it public, and they give me the URL. Now I go back to my website, and I put the link to the URL. So when somebody clicks it and gets the PDF, it's not downloading off my website server, it's downloading off Amazon server. Or if I embed, you can use certain tools to embed a video. Now, nowadays you just host it on YouTube. Everybody knows YouTube. But if it was something like in a back end that was, private, and I didn't want to use YouTube, I wanted to host it, and I didn't want to use Vimeo or something like that, I can put it on Amazon S3. And another use case scenario is sometimes now you see fancy websites where the actual hero image at the top, where you might have a call to action and an opt-in, whatever, but the background is video. So you see the background moving. Well, that has to be served from somewhere. And if you put it on your own website server, it's going to slow it down. So you can actually put that video on, and I do, on Amazon S3, serve the video, the background video, from Amazon S3. So somebody thinks it's on your website, but really it's coming from Amazon S3. So that's what it is. It's a big storage unit that you can access really, really quickly, that doesn't interfere with the running time, speed of your own website. So you want to keep those kind of large files away from your own website server. And that's why we use Amazon S3 mostly.
The other thing to realize is Amazon S3, that's a term we use, but Amazon S3 isn't just Amazon S3. There are lots and lots. So you can literally host a website on there. You can have a VPS on there. You can run your server on there. If you ever play any online games, 90% of the time they're actually hosted on Amazon. So things like, for a desktop app, something like Scrapebox. Okay, so you want to go out and scrape a load of stuff. You can run Scrapebox off a VPS based on Amazon without a problem. So yeah.
An awful lot of what we would consider the internet is actually Amazon S3 servers.
Yep.
Run. I remember, was it last year, 2 years ago, when Amazon S3, there was a little piece of code that one of the guys in Amazon S3 just, and then half the world went dark, and everyone was like, "Oh no.
Yeah,
internet." No.
Yeah, no. I've actually somewhere I've got a server still that's actually on Amazon, and it is a Windows server. It's because I've got a Mac. I can't, like when I was running Scrapebox to do SEO and stuff like that. I couldn't actually run it on my Mac. So all you do, you grab yourself a VPS somewhere. Mine just happened to be on Amazon. Upload Scrapebox to it, and it just works really quickly because it hasn't got all the crap that you've got.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
right.
On the question of whole like plugins and stuff like that for WordPress, and because we've been talking about AWS, Amazon AWS, and speed of your website, and if there's one thing that you can do right now that if you're sat twiddling your thumbs figuring out what to do with your website to make it better, it's page speed. And page speed is a significant factor for search engine optimization. And to give you an idea, some of the things that we've done with our Shopify store actually over the last couple of months is we've been gradually working through our main pages and optimizing the images and optimizing some of the on-site SEO, just improving the page, the layout, and all that kind of stuff. One of the other things we did was we installed a system that allowed what's called lazy loading. So it basically anything below the fold of the screen isn't loaded immediately. So what it does is it shows the page being opened and being fully readable as quickly as humanly possible. So you lazy load the images that are on your site, and it improves the page speed significantly. And one of the things that we found actually is that I've been keeping a close track on the rankings for our website, and we've gone from literally 2% visibility now up to over 5% visibility for our primary keywords. We're back to the same visibility that we had pre-Medic update 2 years ago, which is huge. And really, the only thing that's actually changed is actually the quality of the page. So the page load speed, the compressing the images to make sure that they load faster, or the lazy loading, all that kind of stuff. So that's all we've done, and it's made a significant difference. And it's starting to come through. That the changes that we made a couple of months ago are now starting to show bear fruit, which is good. So certainly recommend that being a task that if you're stuck for things to do and you're not quite sure, and you're wondering about SEO and whether you should be doing more with SEO, those are the things to focus on.
Yeah.
Cool. Hi, Randall.
I've got a couple of quick ones. Actually, should I share my screen and just show a back end of a WordPress? I'll just go through a couple of plugins. Okay, if I click that button and then click that one. There you go, Mark. That should be up there.
Big screen. Woo. Let me go full Dave.
Full Dave. Brilliant. There's a blog I set up in Corona crisis mode. Actually, pimp blogtechnerd.com.
What one word was right there? Nerd.
Yeah. But basically, that's one thing that I've got is a lot more my clients and non-clients or older clients are like, I need 5 minutes help. And it's right. Okay, well, I'm going to charge you for that. So, but anyway, just quickly, I use a page builder called Beaver Builder. I'm sure you've heard of it many a times when you've been on here. And as I say,
highly recommended.
Highly recommended. So I have a couple of Beaver Builder specific plugins. They just do little tidy up things. Tim was talking there about about lazy loading, things like that. Because I host all my sites on Cloudways, I use their caching plugin, Breeze. There are other ones like WP Rocket and others. Just basically make sure that when you're searching for plugins in the WordPress, by clicking your Add New button up here or over here, just make sure that they're recently updated and they've not been left alone for 2 years or whatever, but also that they have decent volume compared to the other ones in the area. So if you search for a caching plugin, you'll get 4 or 5 options that will have, thousands of downloads, and that's good, but you don't, you want to make sure they're being updated on a regular basis. And Classic Editor, that's just a plugin that lets me use WordPress like it was for years, and now it's just changing over to the Gutenberg. And don't get worried or frightened about Gutenberg. It's just basically the way they lay things out, and that's something that's kind of custom fonts, because sometimes I want to use a font specific to a client. They've designed their logo or they've designed their print stuff using certain fonts, and they want to keep that continuity across websites. Disable comments. I use this because WordPress, the way it works, everything has a page specific. So when you upload an image, WordPress actually has a page for that image. It's not just the images there on a specific page or a blog post, whatever. There is a page in the system that has just that image and a few other bits on it. And you don't want comments on media. You don't want comments on certain things. Like I turn off comments on pages and media, but I leave it on for posts. So we use that. Duplicate post. This one in particular, Batucci, is very, very good. So if I'm repeating something 2 or 3 times, let's say I have a layout for a page that is a review of a product and I want to use that layout again, I can just duplicate the post rather than having to start from scratch and build it again. Enable media, that's from Short Pixel. One of the frustrating problems with, enable media replace. One of the frustrating problems with adding an image is that if you change something on that image, like a font or an image, and you upload it again, you're seeing the old image because your PC is caching it, the server is caching all this kind of stuff. So you can just replace that image without having to change the URL or all that kind of stuff. And that's really, really good. Forms plugins, there are really good ones that you can get for cheap, free. I use a paid one called Fluent Forms, but basically you can get loads of really, really good WP Forms. There's lots of really good ones. And again, for free. When you go on, even Fluent Forms has a free one. You just go on, add new and look for forms. And again, recently updated and decent numbers of volume download. GDPR, again, pick your poison, choose ones. Intuitive custom post order. I just like to move things around and make sure that my page is in order. So I use that. Here's that iTheme security that I was telling you about. Legal Suite, it's just basically a basic terms and conditions type plugin. You'll get 3 or 4 of them. And because I use Cloudways, I need to use something to send WordPress emails out, and then we use Mailgun. Monarch is a paid plugin, but it's just a social media link click plugin. There's plenty of those. Again, cheap or free. Page excerpt, because sometimes when you create a page where you want to actually, have a descriptive element to it, it's not available, and you can add it there. Regenerate thumbnails. Same sort of thing from Short Pixel. IDs, ignore. SEO Press. This is my plugin of choice. A lot of people will be very familiar with Yoast SEO, which is very bloated, very outdated, very heavy, very difficult to use. So I wouldn't bother. Let's see. Short Pixel, we've already talked about. So basically, you're using Short Pixel to change the size of your images without changing the quality, and it's a paid plugin. So keep an eye out for AppSumo deals. Beaver Builder, and I've changed the name of it there. And then my backup, Updraft Plus. White Label CMS, it just basically gives you the ability to change the look and feel of your login page. And WP Add Custom CSS. So basically, if I want to have extra CSS, there are numerous places to put them, but you can put them in your theme. Problem is, if you turn off your theme or change your theme, you lose all those customizations. So I actually put them in a plugin. So here, I can add in the code and it stays there no matter what my theme is, etc. And then lastly, Force SSL. There's a lot of transition at the moment from, you might have had an older site and then we have to do the whole SSL certificate thing, which can be free from Let's Encrypt, but maybe an image that you uploaded 4 years ago still is on the HTTP and is not secure. So you want to force that to be the HTTPS, and that's a good plugin to do it. And then WP Sweep, what it allows me to do is to go into Tools and Sweep. The way WordPress works is it works on databases. So you've got a lot of stuff going on that has lots of, in particular as your site gets bigger, things that you don't need. So I can click here, and what it will do is it will actually clean up the databases for me and get rid of a lot of, you can see here it's happening here. There we go. Because this is a renew site, happened really, really quickly. And it just keeps always back up before you click that button. I'm not worried about it here. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, and then you start looking at very specific type plugins. Let's see, stop sharing there now. You start looking at specific plugins like we use ConvertBox. So I want to connect ConvertBox to my WordPress site, so I have to have a plugin to do that. Or if I use, some other specific service that I want to attach to a website, then I'm gonna add it. And one thing I would say is, once you've done something like added a plugin and you think, okay, this is fantastic, this is great, take your site and go to gtmetrix.com, right? And put your URL into gtmetrix, metrix.com, and run a test and see what kind of grade. Now, don't get head up about the difference between 90% and 91%. What you're looking for is A or B, right? Let's leave it at that. Let's not get worried about it. But if you see a huge problem with that plugin, and some plugins do, then you've got to find an alternative. So you can actually turn off the plugin, go back to GTmetrix, run the analysis again, and just be doubly sure that before and after you turned on the plugin, you've got a similar or better result on GTmetrix. If you've noticed a huge drop in your GTmetrix score, that's going to have an effect on what Tim was saying earlier about SEO. So, but also, it's not necessarily SEO as such in terms of Google find your site, but also if somebody sees a link to your website on Facebook and they click on it and it's taking ages to load, they ain't hanging around. It's back to Facebook or Twitter or wherever the hell they came from. So you really got to think about as much about the human visiting your site as much as Google visiting your site. It's about page speed for that reason. So using caching plugins, brilliant. Using the plugins that like Short Pixel that reduce the size of your image files that go on your website, brilliant. But adding anything in particular, just always double check by adding something or taking away its major page speed, same or better. Now, if it's down 1%, don't fret it, right? But if you see 10% drop in its effectiveness, you got to find an alternative plugin, play around with it.
Good tip there. Yeah. Right. Next on the list, we've got something we talked about on Friday, and we got asked some questions about it. And that was where I talked about going to Google, finding the top 10 sites, and just running a Google display ad. So I thought I'd do a little demo.
Oh.
So let me just share my screen. Way right. So this is Google, and I've searched for how to create an online course to sell. Right now, I've got keywords everywhere. So I've got loads of related keywords and what other things that people search for. So I can just literally go through this list if I want for anything, how to develop an online course. That would be a perfect one. So literally I've come here. There are 4 ads here. There are there's not no way, but for me, giving away a free course, there's no point in me advertising up here. Okay, I'm up against guys paying, I don't know, probably $3 or $4 a click. For a free course, that's not going to work. Right. So if I come down here and look at all these pages, there's one here, e-learning industry, how to sell online courses, e-learning industry. If I click on that, because what you do, go through more, here is an advert from Google. So now I could go into Google and I could put this URL, right, or this site down as a place that I want to run my ads. Okay, so what Google will do, it will come along and it will display my advert here. Then anybody who comes to this front page, goes through things, comes to here, will see my advert. Okay, so that's Google Display Network. I would then come along and I would look for how to sell e-courses, maybe. Right, with only one ad there, that's pretty good to go. And I would come down and I would look at, all these ones here, like Neil Patel, e-learning words, found e-commerce platforms, whatever. Does Neil Patel run ads? Probably not. But we would have a look. No, he doesn't. So we wouldn't even bother trying to run it there. I would then look at these. I mean, do you reckon any of these adverts, any of these videos run ads? If so, it might be worthwhile doing a video ad because they're on the front page. People come down, they'll see that, they click that, they may well see your video ad. So, and just a thought, doesn't she look like J.K. Rowling? So really, that is how and why you do it. Simple, and if you've got relay that, you can create one advert and it will create it in all the different sizes that you need. It's just a way of getting your ads out there. $5 a day. will be enough. If you can get 10 good sites over 10 different keywords, you're going to get traffic up, especially on the front page, for $5 a day. And is it giving away a free course? It's pretty a no-brainer.
So to add to that, there's something else you can do, something which I've been working on in the background with respect to blogs and blog traffic and other people's blog traffic, is finding all of the blogs, all of the bloggers in your particular niche. So my niche is obviously health and nutrition and all that kind of stuff. Who is the type of person that is most likely to buy your product? And it's like, there will be plenty of bloggers out there who have created a blog. Somebody who created a blog and they want to monetize that in some way. So I've got a whole long list of blogs which I've been taking a closer look at, and I've been marking on my list as I've been going through it, do they run Google Ads or not? So I've now got a list of all the bloggers in the UK for health and fitness, health and nutrition, foodie blogs, lifestyle blogs, that kind of thing, for the age range that I'm looking at, and seeing. I've got a list of them which will actually run Google Ads. So I can now just basically pull out that list and go, right, you're all running Google Ads. Let's just put those into my targets list for my Google campaign, and I can run a display campaign specifically to those particular websites. So kind of similar kind of approach to what Mark's been explaining, but it's a little bit more, it's a little bit left field. It's looking at it in a slightly different way. It's same but different, if you know what I mean.
It reminded me of something that I used to do 8-9 years ago. If I had a blog that I owned or went out and bought that had decent traffic, but AdSense was a little bit shit, I would create an ad that looked like AdSense and just literally put it on the site. So it just looks like an advert. And weirdly, you think it would be the opposite way, but weirdly, they got quite a few clicks, because I think people think with ads, okay, that's exactly what I want, rather than reading through the article. So you just basically fake an ad to go where you want the article to send people.
Yeah.
So probably worth a try.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's plenty of bloggers out there that they don't want to. They want the easy life, so they do just run Google AdSense.
Yeah.
Their blog. Some of them will run whether it's Amazon Associates links and stuff like that, but they'll always have, generally, if you can see if they've got Amazon Associates, they will be running Google Ads as well, and there'll be either the bottom banner, the top banner, or the right hand side banner, and it's just make sure that you have creatives that fit the particular ad unit that they are displaying. So if it's a medium rectangle, so 300 by 250, or if it's a 768 by 60 or whatever it is on the top bar, make sure you figure out what the right ad size is before running.
Or use Relay That or Canva Pro, which have got them all built in for you.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes it's a bit of a pain in the bum to create creatives for every single ads unit size. The only other thing to think about is, because a lot of people are now mobile device, think mobile first. You'll be surprised, actually, there's quite a lot of mobile traffic and mobile ad traffic, and it's not junk. In previous years it has been junk. These days it's not. Don't dismiss the mobile traffic. If anything, you'll get much more mobile traffic than you'll get desktop traffic these days.
I have a couple of clients that right from the start, our web design has been focused on the mobile design, particularly for landing pages.
Yeah.
And because they know that they're only spending advertising on Facebook ads or Google ads targeting specifically mobile.
Yeah.
No desktop ads whatsoever, because they know that their clients, their target market, just don't go on desktops. They're phone people. And that number is just going up.
Our primary landing page for Lean Greens these days is mobile. I won't say mobile only. It's been designed for mobile first. It kind of does work on a desktop, but it's not the best looking thing. massive images where you wouldn't normally have massive images and things like that. But on a mobile device, it looks correct, and that for us is the most important thing. Yeah, you're exactly right. Facebook would, 70-80% of the traffic that we're driving from Facebook is mobile traffic.
It's what we design desktop first, but that's to get the elements in there and make it look okay. But then because I use Beaver Builder, use beaverbuilder.com or getbeaverbuilder.com, you can just click a button and now I'll see that whole page in tablet form, and I'll do a few tweaks and adjustments that don't affect the desktop version. And then I'll click another button and it'll go to mobile form. And I can adjust the margins. I can make the font smaller. I can make the image smaller. I can make sure that the button comes above the fold on the phone. I can do all sorts of stuff. And then press another button, it goes back to the desktop. But those three versions haven't interfered with each other because I made the changes in that specific arena. And that allows me to do it. So that's what we would call a theme being responsive. So when you're setting up your WordPress website, you're telling the code that if the person arrives at this on your site from a device that has these dimensions, show them this version. And that allows us to do some really cool things as well. So I think simple things like logo placement. When we put a logo on a desktop page, it's top left-hand corner, it's decent size, and then the menu next to it, and then you've got the hero image or whatever. But on a mobile, and particularly in a landing page, that's real estate you don't want to waste. So we can do a number of things. One, we can shrink it down very small, so it's visible, so it's kind of there's a brand recognition element to it, but it's very small. The menu is now a hamburger menu, those three lines that you have to click to see the menu options. But it moves everything back up. So we've got above the fold or opt-in or a call to action or a button or whatever. So there are things that something like Beaver Builder allows us to do to accommodate all versions, but we can tweak and adjust very simply.
Sorry, carry on. I'm just doing some work.
You're the one.
Ask another question.
Okay, go. Questions. Productivity hacks. Next one. This is asked by Randall. Hi, Randall. And the answer is, where is everyone's mask and how are you doing with toilet paper? Well, don't need a mask. I'm sat here. Toilet paper. What? Romans use a sponge on a stick. It's good enough. It's good enough for the Romans. It's good enough for me.
Actually, I did the shop yesterday. Our weekly, which is now bi-weekly shop. Mask, gloves, the whole 9 yards. And it was interesting to know what was missing. Number one, corn mince. Number two, Bisto.
So my question with corn, as it were, I appreciate, there are certain why is there a shortage?
I have no idea. Not a problem with toilet paper. Not a problem with booze. Not a problem with cat food, corn, and Bisto.
The weird thing is, we have had no shortages over here.
And the biggest one, I had to go. I went to 4 different places. Flour, bloody Bake Off. Great British Bake Off has turned everybody into isolationist bakers.
So we're already reading the comment that's just come through.
Yeah, boo. We're actually going to talk about that. Just want to say thanks for the instructions on Switchy. I talked to a guy a couple of days ago and explained the whole retargeting links to him, and it blew his goddamn mind. Yep, it will do. Right. So, yeah, actually, Randall, that's the genuine answer here. Everyone in Europe's got B-days.
Yeah.
Mainland Europe.
Right. Oh, well, you're not in Europe anymore. You're in Scotland.
No. We are Europe. We're just not EU.
Well, everyone in mainland Europe who are sensible and dying by the thousands.
Well, to be honest,
we have a bidet in our main bathroom, but it's not used for its intended purposes. It has another use. It's a water fountain for the cat and the dog and the cats.
Anyway, productivity hacks. This is actually Randall asked this, so good timing. Basically, what do you do? What do you do to be productive? Now, my answer to that is really simple. 2 things. One of those you can see. Actually, no, maybe 5 of those. And Trello. I put everything I've got to do on Trello, and I limit it to 3 or 4 things a day, and then I don't finish until I've done that. So if I finish in an hour, I finish in an hour. If it takes me 8 hours to do everything on that Trello board, A, I've been stupid for putting 8 hours worth of work on there. But B, it definitely gets done. So that's really what my tip.
My tip would be Google Calendar.
Yeah.
You put in the calendar, it gets done.
No, because you never look at it. We could go,
I do.
hey Siri, remind me in 5 minutes.
Well, like, I mean, if you allocate 30 minutes to do a job, you're going to spend 30 minutes doing the job. Put it in the calendar.
So I want my suggestion, and it's like not something which I use, but we've actually recommended it to the member staff that works for us. And it's like one of the difficulties with doing the remote working is that I'm used to it. I've been doing remote working for 15, 16 years. So I know what working from home is like. It's normal to me. Whereas somebody else who's normally would go into an office or go to a place of work, it's a bit more difficult. But the Pomodoro technique, where you basically set a timer. Sometimes it's like you set a timer for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and you do a task for 15 minutes, and then you do another task for 15 minutes, another task for 15 minutes, and then you take a 10-minute break. And then it's like, but you make sure that you've got different things, and there's different ways of doing Pomodoro. Go check it out online. But it's a way of just basically keeping you focused for at least 15 minutes. So if you've got an email to write, spend 15 minutes writing it, and you stop even mid-sentence as soon as that buzzer goes, and move on.
The need to use that, because if I'm going to write an email, I will write an email. If I want to do something, I will do something. I'm pretty good at not being distracted once I start something. Starting something, like, that's a different matter.
Yeah.
But once I can put off stuff for months and months, but when I sit down, right, I'm going to do this, bang, it will get done. So it doesn't matter if you use Pomodoro, Kanban, calendars, whiteboards, Trello, Asana. It doesn't matter what you do if you do what you've set down. You can stick Post-it notes all over your screen. If that gets you to work, then that is the best productivity hack for you. So never let anyone, especially us, tell you how you should be doing it. Do whatever works for you, because that way you'll get it done.
So I'm the least productive person at the moment out of the whole team, I think. It's like I'm doing too many freaking live calls with people. So, sorry, I think my door's about to get knocked. So I apologise if I run away for 30 seconds.
And 2 meters away. Invite them in. They can come on the live show.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
So, okay, so that's productivity hacks. We've got a good one to come now. But anyone's got any questions, just please do ask. We've got here for as long as you need it. What'd you get, Tim?
Sam with Amazon stuff.
Was he wearing a mask?
No, he wasn't actually. He knocks on the door and he runs away.
You know something really funny? Now, every time I watch Nicola Sturgeon's press conferences, they've got someone doing sign language.
Yeah.
Right. There's one of them. She actually does sign language in Scottish. Honestly, I know that woman's from the Gorbals, right? Because you can just see her facial expression as she's doing sign language. It's hilarious. That is a Scottish woman doing that. Right. Finding affiliate products. Oh, good question. How long we plan on going today? Just working out my schedule. Muppet. We've got no idea, Mark. I've got one more question down here. I was going to do Switchy, but I will do that on a separate video, because I'll go quite deep into it. I will We've got Switchy and we've got affiliate products. So coming, plus any questions you guys ask. Let me share my screen while we're here, and I'll just get rid of this a bit about Switchy. And we will, right, this is Switchy, right? This is the greatest tool known to man at the moment, as far as I'm concerned. Because you will see here on this one, I've got 6 links. Each link is individual. So that went to Facebook, that went to Twitter, that went to Pinterest, that went to the foundation, that went to SMO Pro, that went out in an email, right? And first, I can see how many people clicked. So I can see here that Facebook and Twitter were pretty good for people clicking, right? But the important thing was, let's say this post on Twitter, right? Someone clicks it, goes through. That bit there is my Facebook pixel, right? So that Facebook pixel means now, even though the person was on Twitter, they are now in my Facebook audience, right? So they've clicked it, gone through to the site, may have read it, may not have read it. But the fact that they sort of indicated a bit of interest, right? By putting my Facebook pixel on the link, I now have them in a custom audience. So I can run an advert to that person or those 86 people about whatever I want, knowing that they are on a custom audience and that they clicked. Okay, so the main thing here is you can, let me have a look at this one. Right, so there was a Reddit case study that I read one night, and I created a link, and I sent that link out. So I sent that link out to Reddit. Okay, they didn't go to my blog, they didn't go to any of our communities, they didn't go anywhere I own, they went to Reddit. But yet, I collected 201 people's 201 people in a custom audience who I know were interested in what this case study talked about. So that is incredibly important. So what's this one? This is another one, 15 ways to grow your list. Right, so 123 people there I know are interested in growing a list. And if I wanted to run an advert for how to grow your list, there is my audience. Really powerful stuff. Right, so that's it for that. Any questions on that? It's just,
It's very cool.
I don't understand why other people don't use it. Or even, well, maybe they don't talk about it because it's their secret weapon. Yeah, I just blown it wide open. Hello, little puppy. Right, go on, Dave. You're gonna get one of your pigs on.
No.
If we had a pet today, Dave would win because he'd just bring a pig in there.
Got 2.
Right. Okay. So next up on the next question we've got is finding affiliate products. Right. So I've got my own very personal views on these, and that is only promote what you use. So if you're using a product, let's say you've got a dog, let's say you've got a big unruly Bernese Mountain Dog, right? Don't know where I got that idea, and you go and you buy there's a product at the moment which I think is brain training for dogs, or you buy a dog training product on ClickBank, whatever. Yeah, brain training for dogs, supposed to make them intelligent. Never going to happen. Not with a boxer anyway. So you use that and it works. Great. You can legitimately probably provide the best review of that product. So yeah, you can review that product. You can give the inside information. Okay. I think this is what Justin Brooke used or talked about on he did an affiliate training thing the other day. But that because you've got the product, you're feel free to sign up and promote it. The only tools I promote are ones I use: ActiveCampaign, Thinkific, ConvertBox, Thrivecart. I use them every day. So I will promote them till the cows come home because it's something I use. So I think yes, I might as well promote them. I've got a spreadsheet of every single tool I use. If I buy a tool and I use it, I go find their affiliate program and I put it up there. And I put it on this spreadsheet. So if I have to write for something and it's relevant, I can put the affiliate link in. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Going to ClickBank, searching via Gravity. So you need to know something's selling. So if it's got a decent sized Gravity, you know it's selling. Well, it may be something that you can promote. If it's one of your interests, you would not find me promoting Ted's Woodworking, for example, because I know nothing about woodworking, and it would come across. So yeah, I mean, there are companies like Commission Junction. You can find stuff there. There are companies like Peerfly have stopped, haven't they? There's loads. Just go to Google and type affiliate programs or affiliate providers. Dave, you don't forget, Dave does do affiliate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it is www.davelikesbeaverbuilder.com or something like that. No, because right, so it's a good point. Dave promotes Beaver Builder. In fact, anyone says to me, Mark, do you recommend Beaver Builder? I go, definitely, and I give them Dave's link.
Thank you.
Because I don't have an account. I do use Beaver Builder, but Dave uses it way more than me. And I know whenever I got a problem, I can call on Dave. So it's sort of a reciprocal arrangement. He'll sort out all my trouble, and I just give him all my affiliate commission. But yeah, so
Much
Tim
appreciated.
Tim loves to promote Aweber. ClickFunnels.
No. I still get a ClickFunnels check, PayPal account payments every month, and I still get a Aweber affiliate check, PayPal, bank transfer, whatever it is, every month. Even though I don't promote it anymore, it's just because people are still on there. So obviously, I'm big into like the recurring commission stuff, which is a really, really great thing. Randall's just saying Thrive is a good company who promotes. Absolutely. One of the things I would suggest you do is like if you're in a weird niche and it's like you come across products and it's like they don't have like an affiliate program, it's like go and contact the company and go, I tell you what, guys, I'll run your affiliate program. I'll take a 1% of all sales that come through affiliates and as my payments kind of thing, and set up an affiliate program for somebody else. Because honestly, that's it's one of the things that it baffles me that so many companies don't do, is that they don't have their products sold through an affiliate program, because there's plenty of people out there who will promote a product. It's like I sent out an email to our customers the other day for Lean Greens, and this lady came back and she was like asking about a discount code that she could share with her customers. And I was like, well, I could set you up as an affiliate. And she had no idea what an affiliate program was. She had no idea what that meant, and I was just like, don't worry, here's the link. I've set up your account for you. Go promote. And if anybody buys through your link, I'll give you you'll get paid essentially. And it's the easiest thing for me to do, obviously, because I understand the technology. One of the things I would say is, if you understand the technology and you know the different platforms that are available that you can run somebody else's affiliate program, it's a great little side hustle that you could set up and become the affiliate manager for a particular product. I think that's Randall saying, wait, did you say to approach companies to set up their affiliate or not? No, I said, yes, definitely do that.
If they don't have an affiliate program.
If they don't have an affiliate program, ask them if they want one set up. Explain to them how it works. Explain like the system of it. Figure out, come to an agreement on the percentage cut that you'll take for setting it up. It's for most of these systems, it's not a set and forget. That's a bigger fat lie, but it's a fairly straightforward process to be able to become an affiliate manager for somebody else. So definitely do it.
One thing I was Randall mentioned that Thrive is a good company. if I was a Thrive affiliate and I used Thrive themes, what I would do is I would set up a course. How to set up your Thrive themes, right? It's great stuff. It's so bloody confusing because it's not logical. It hasn't been designed by anybody who ever intends on using it. It's been designed by, been created by a software engineer rather than usage. So the big thing is, okay, let's simplify this. Everybody knows it's so confusing, so let's simplify it. Here's 10 lessons in how to set up Thrive themes, right? And you put it out there, and anybody will go through, look at it. Oh, do you know what? Yeah, I'll get that. Or how to build a site in 5 hours with Thrive themes, and then put the Thrive theme links all the way through it. Job done. Good question here.
How much?
What percentage of Mark's income comes from affiliates of his own courses? Very little, because none of you bastards ever promote it. Having said that, we had because one thing that we can do is hang on, let me get rid of that one. Now we've got sort of like the course I set up this way. How to set up a course. Now, any one of our members can come along and go, Mark, can you give me an affiliate link for that? Right. So all they got to do is give away a free course, and then if anybody buys any of the programs over the next month or two, then they're going to get credited with it. We actually had someone this week come in, and because we've got all the email sequences going out, and I'm refining the email sequences, so they will get pitched 3 or 4 products in that month probably. If they don't buy one, then they go to a different path, and we'll try and work out, what they're responsive to. So, any tools to make that happen? Tap affiliate. Is it Tap affiliate?
Yeah. I know the ones that you can use with different e-commerce platforms. So whether you are on BigCommerce, Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, that kind of thing, you can use a tool called Refersion, REFERSION.com. That's the tool that I use for Lean Greens. It's not the cheapest platform, but it's, if say for example, if you were going to go to say for example, somebody who runs a Shopify store or WooCommerce store and go, I think your products are great, but can we set up an affiliate program for you? Because that would be great for getting more customers. I can set that up for you. It will cost the person who runs the business, I think it's $79 a month for the basic account on Refersion. And it's you can swallow that cost for them if you want. It depends how confident you are with it, but that's where I would start.
Yeah, it's not difficult. There's lots of tools out there that will do it for you.
Yeah.
And
obviously the ones I know about are e-commerce related. What's the Thrivecart? You can set up affiliate programs through Thrivecart.
Thrivecart, Thinkific have got them. They're everywhere. Most platforms will actually have them.
Most merchants have no idea about affiliate programs, which is just incredible to me. But if you find somebody who's doing, I don't know, guitars online, and your thing's guitars, it's and you know how to run an affiliate program for somebody's online guitar store. Christ, it's the easiest thing in the world for you to set up. Because
Randall says, "Hey Mark, give me a fit for your stuff. All done, mate. Literally took one click of a button. You're now an affiliate." But I'm retired when it comes to programming. There is not a lot of programming to do with affiliate stuff, or else I wouldn't have been able to set you up with one click. I would say, Dave, when you finish, can you work out how to add Randall to the affiliate program?
I say, in the bad old days of internet marketing, setting up affiliate programs was a ball ache.
Oh, terrible.
Do you guys remember iDev Affiliate?
Oh, the one you recommended to me.
Yeah, it's awesome. It was awesome 8 years ago when I recommended it to you.
But
No, thank God for Thrivecart.
the thing I'll do is, I've got this list of my list of affiliate links. I can go through there and see all the companies that they go through. Right, so there's Tap Affiliate, there's Partner Stack. I remember off the top of my head. There's obviously Thrivecart. There's loads of them there.
Do it through ClickBank if you wanted to, but that's it's kind of retarded for most physical products things, but and for digital products it's quite good. But and what you can do with ClickBank is you can set yourself and the business owner up. So you set the business owner up with an account, and then you add yourself as a partner. And basically, what happens is any revenue that comes in through that, then you can split it automatically splits the payments between you. So easy to do. I say but I wouldn't recommend ClickBank. It's a ball ache to sometimes do, but there are much better and simpler systems out there for creating these things, and you can do it for any business, any product, whether it's digital or physical. Honestly, coaching, you name it, it's all possible to create your own affiliate program or create an affiliate program for somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would say about ClickBank, and it's not really well known, is you can custom code it yourself. Because I know that Andre Chaperon uses ClickBank for all his products. And he just changed some coding, added a bit of code to stuff, and it works the way he wants it to work. So,
I don't like their fees, to be honest, as well.
Yeah,
right?
Painful bit is was it 7-8% that ClickBank take as a merchant, which is brutal when you consider that for a normal merchant, you're an expensive merchant, I would say, is PayPal at 3.4%, but as their highest fees. So when ClickBank are charging 7, 8, 9%, I'm like, ouch. No, but yeah.
Right, cool. I've just broken my stand when I was fiddling with it. Never mind. Right, anything else? Any other questions before we knock it off? I don't think we'll do a call tomorrow, will we, Tim?
It's entirely up to the guys. It's like I don't have much to add at the moment. Some of the stuff that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks to do with Amazon, and I was actually on an Amazon sellers live call earlier, and it was that realization for a lot of them that they've lost their business because they didn't have a backup. And it's kind of one of the things I would suggest that everybody does. Business continuity is something that is normally associated with big companies. So they'll set up like a business continuity program for if there is a pandemic, or if the warehouse burns down, or the IT systems go down, or whatever it might be. But 6 weeks ago, if you'd said to somebody who is an Amazon merchant and said to them, in 3 weeks' time, Amazon are going to stop you being able to send new product into their warehouses, and they're also going to extend the delivery dates for all products, non-essential products, out for 4 weeks. People, they would have laughed at you. They would have told you you're an idiot. Amazon will never do that, and yet that's exactly what they've done, and they've managed to shut down literally hundreds of thousands of merchants overnight have lost their income because of the changes that Amazon needed to make for the COVID-19 response. So one thing I would suggest everybody looks at is worst number in business is 1. So if you've got 1 backup, like we talked about earlier, make sure you got 2 or 3 backups of stuff. If you have stock, make sure it's in multiple different locations and you've got a backup of stock somewhere else. If make sure you've got a backup of your primary assets, because you don't know what business is going to fail over the next 3 to 6 months or so. And you would be surprised that there's some big companies who are struggling because they have suddenly lost a huge amount of cash flow. So protect your own interests and be a little bit more open-minded about the questions you're asking yourself about how do I protect my business. So that would be the only thing that I would talk about tomorrow if we were to do a live call, is really look at each different aspect of your business and figure out, okay, well, if that company went down, what would I do?
Yeah.
And what would I need to do to get back?
I mean, don't call me cynical, but do you think that somewhere in an office at Amazon, somebody's going through a list of all the products that they've stopped selling for, like fulfilled by Amazon, going, well, actually, we can get that one in for ourselves now. We've got a supplier who can get us that, and they're actually going to. Would they do that?
Yes, yes, no. It's interesting some of the changes that have happened, and I've obviously been speaking to a few different merchants, and there's been some positives and negatives to this whole thing. It's like where Amazon has run out of their stock of a particular product.
Yeah.
If there's more than one merchant selling the same product, generally it's Amazon wins the bid to be like buy box. And what happens to all the other sellers who are selling it? They either have to undercut Amazon, or they have to wait until Amazon runs out of stock. And what's happened, Amazon's run out of stock, so all of these sellers are starting to sell their backup of stock that they've been sitting on forever, and they can charge high prices for it. They can charge with a margin. So there's been some positives there, but I think generally it's like Amazon says that this whole response thing's going to end next week in terms of like restricting new product going in and into their warehouses and the delivery estimates and things like that. But I don't believe that for a second. I think it will continue at least for another 3-4 weeks before they make any other significant changes. So it's one of those constantly moving things, but don't believe that the business, the platform, whatever that you're using, be it, even as I'm not going to say Facebook, but Facebook, there's certain platforms out there that their earnings are going to be severely dented over the next 6 months. And it's like, how much cash reserves do they have to be able to weather the storm? So don't be surprised if certain companies end up going out of business. And if you rely on that as your service for X, then you need to find an alternative. So definitely wise things to do.
Quick question before I go. Hi, Morris. On the free Thinkific plan, do 3 mini courses count towards the Thinkific allowance? I think it's just 3 courses. It doesn't matter what type of course they are. You're allowed 3 courses on there. So the answer is yes. Of course, nothing's stopping you getting 2 accounts with different email addresses, but I didn't say that out loud. But yeah, right. So I think that's about wrap it up now. Yeah. Anything, Dave, before we go?
No, that's it. I think we covered a fair bit.
Yeah, I've actually made a list of everything we covered for a change. Okay, guys. If we go live tomorrow, we'll put it out. I've got a lot on I need to do, so I'm not particularly sure. All depends what happens when I make my phone call in 5 minutes. Right, guys. Thank you very much for coming on, keeping us company, and we'll speak to you sometime next week or tomorrow or whenever. Take care, guys. Be safe. Bye.